Okay, so here is a really quick free download for building ethical online assets, growing your agency, and growing your income using other people's content. This is a content curation strategy that's really, really easy. It's ethical, and it's, in my view anyway, the most expeditious way of launching an agency and building real relationships excuse me, with your niche neighbors and professional peers. All right, so essentially, really quickly, what is content curation in a sentence? It's a simple strategy for culling, curating, collecting, snipping, clipping other people's content in a way that they're going to be enthusiastic about and ethically building your brand with other people's land, right? Other people's content, other people's creativity, again, in a way that is going to be amenable to them sharing and showcasing what you're doing, the tools that we recommend for this. And again, it's really important to point out that folks are always looking for bright and shiny objects. That's not my vibe. That's not my gig. So there are probably other tools out there other than the ones I'm covering here. You can certainly pick the ones that are best for you, although I don't recommend spending the rest of your free time and free attention on chasing bright and shiny objects that don't do anything better or more effectively than the stuff I'm covering here. Ghost is phenomenal. Ghost is a publishing platform. It's sort of like an alternative to WordPress or Shopify or Framer or whatever else. It's really but much more than that. It's for really membership sites, and it's a beautiful publishing experience. They have built-in newsletters, and one of the really big advantages of using Ghost is they have really a phenomenal new Ghost bookmarklet extension for Chrome, which essentially allows you using Chrome just to find stuff around the web, share those things to your Ghost site, like sort of on the fly, and then publish those things once they're ready to go. And you can do this really, really quickly. I've done some videos on this. It's a fantastic way of building a membership style site and a newsletter simultaneously in a niche, in a vertical, in a target market, in a local community. And, again, ostensibly building a newsletter at the same time. Milanote, it's the same thing. If you look up here, you can actually see I'm on Firefox now, but they also have a Firefox extension. Same thing. Every single URL that you find on the web, you can simply save using Milanote, and it'll create these really cool boards that allow you to do really cool things with. You can have community conversations on your boards. You can publish them as PDFs. You can add people profiles. You can build directories. All sorts of very, very cool and creative ways of using Milanote to create curated content and to create digital downloads as well. I've covered this elsewhere. Also, I pay for Milanote, but you don't have to. It's free. You just have a limited amount of resources that you can use on the free plan. Superstash is the same thing. It's what's different than Milanote. Actually, it's more similar to something like WordPress again for directories, for content curation, and it's really a phenomenal way, and I've done videos on this too. You can create simple templates using Superstash and then duplicate the shit out of them, right? So you can just create a really good structure that you like, and it's very easy, and then just duplicate it 100 times. And for literally like under $20 a month, you can have an unlimited amount of local directories, niche, product recommendations, affiliate reviews, anything you can imagine, you can do on Superstash. It's beautiful. If you're in our community, you've seen some videos that I've done on Superstash, and there's also a couple on YouTube as well. Twitter curation is actually a great way of really quickly and easily building up relationships with your target market, your professional peers, niche neighbors, local business owners, etc. There's some really great examples of this as well, using a tool like I think it's called Picasso.me. I've paid for this a bunch of times. I'm not currently paying for it only because there's only so much time in the day and my focus is now elsewhere. But it's really, really a great and fun way of finding tweets or finding people or quotes or whatever it is in your niche, in your market. It's great for local communities where you're actually, there's like a little button that when you install the bookmark, the extension for Picasso, and you have to pay for it, unfortunately, now because of the changes that Elon Musk has made to Twitter. So they have to pass these on, unfortunately, to us. But it's like $9 a month or something. It's very affordable. And essentially, you have a little button on Twitter now that you click on, and it takes a very cool and creative screenshot of the tweet in mention or that you're referencing, and it allows you to change the dimensions for Instagram, for Instagram stories, for LinkedIn, for all these different cool and creative things that you can do with the colors and the presentation and the aesthetics of the tweet that you just captured. And then you can simply share those. There's a really good example of this, and there's lots of them, but just one that I really like. I think it's called My Therapist on Instagram, or My Therapist Says, I think it's called. And essentially, they've built millions of followers, basically taking funny things that people are saying on social media, largely on Instagram and Twitter. They're not using this particular tool, but they're using something similar. And essentially, they just share all these funny, kind of like humorous, therapy memes. And I mean, they're not really publishing any of their own content. They're just taking other people's content and then sharing it on their Instagram with, and saving attribution to the original source and referencing the original source, right? So everyone likes that. You're getting flattered by dint of having other people, amplify your content, right? Other people are endorsing your funny meme or your funny comment on Twitter, and you're being shared on this platform with millions of followers, and it's just a win-win for everybody. All right, check that out as well. Using curated content that's just like interviews, lists, best of books, etc. Another great thing you can do is simply interview people, right? I mean, everyone loves to be interviewed. If you're building a local directory, this is actually the absolute best thing that you can do. We're doing this right now on a couple different projects, most notably for books and authors, right, in our Mindful Marketplace and our new platform called a tinybookabout.com. We're basically just asking authors in all these different niches that we're interested in, what are your favorite books? What's your favorite quote? What's the one book you recommend everyone read that's not yours? What's the first book that got you interested in X? What is the book that changed your mind on Y, etc.? You're just curating people's opinions by dint of interviews and then sharing those on your own community. All right, there's a tool called Curated, which is curated.co, I believe now, which is very specifically just for newsletters. It's like a lighter version of Ghost. I'd recommend Ghost over this, but if you just want to publish newsletters with landing pages that are really highly optimized for conversion, it's similar to Review. Review was the newsletter service that was all curated content that was bought by Twitter a couple of years ago and then retired by Elon Musk in one of his many bad decisions since taking over Twitter. But nonetheless, Curated is a great way. Check it out. Curated.co. It's a great way to build a newsletter simply by dint of sharing other people's content. You don't have to write anything yourself. You should. I mean, you should add parenthetical comments to all of the curated content that you clip or snip or add to your own platform. But you can simply share other people's stuff, and you're amplifying their message. And by dint of doing that, they're going to enthusiastically encourage their audience to check out your stuff. If you're writing a newsletter that's the best pizza places on the East Coast, and you add all these different pizza places that are in New York, in New Jersey, in Delaware, wherever, and people who are included on that are going to share it, right? It just makes total sense. All right. So it's a very, content curation is not like stealing people's content. Like, people have this misguided notion about what content curation is. It's not taking other people's stuff without attribution. It is actually the opposite of that. It is complementing other people's work by dint of sharing things that have been impactful or inspiring or entertaining to you, right? And then pinging them to let them know that, hey, and you can do that just by dint of tagging someone on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And you're basically saying, hey, we recommend this. We read this and liked it, or this is our favorite, 7 books or whatever, and it's in this newsletter or in this ghost blog or in this Milanote board that you can download, et cetera, or in this Superstash, directory. And it's the lazy way to create copious amounts of content that converts like crazy. And it converts like crazy, not in a hyperbolic marketing speak sort of way, but instead you're sharing other people's stuff and then using compliments to highlight and showcase people, products, profiles, businesses, brands, books, whatever it may be, that you recommend to your readers. That is flattering. It's not marketing, it's human psychology. And the original author, creator, maker, or professional who you are endorsing by virtue of amplifying them with your words and your work are going to appreciate that, and they're going to share that with their audience, giving you this very viral spin or top spin on, kind of getting the locomotive of your own agency up, running, and, in full gear. All right. If you have questions about this, building assets and income using the content curation model, I'm doing something very, very different over the next couple months. I'm going to be giving away a ton of these PDFs, all with very, very simple strategies that anyone can actually implement and execute on. And then I'm going to experiment with various levels of one-on-one support. I don't have a ton of time to work with people, in a heavy duty sort of coaching model, but I'm going to have all these are going to be free. And then you can also, if you want, opt into some sort of supported model where you can actually type your answers here and here, or you can ask questions, and then you and I can communicate, on in these workbooks directly together. And then there'll be a final cohort within our larger course community, which is private, our LMS, where if you're really interested in working in a small group setting with a bunch of us together building your brand and business, you can do so. And I expect very few people will actually do that, but it will be very, curated, again, no pun intended, around really, serious, passionate, and enthusiastic agencies who are just getting started and really want to expedite the process of building their brand, their business, and their bank account on a bootstrap budget. All right, you can also check out some other things we're working on here. Here's our course community. Here's some of the digital downloads that we have available now. Here's even more digital downloads. Here's our tinyBookAbout.com product, or project, I should say. And then this other project that some of you know we're working on, which is called TheraLists. TheraList, tiny lists, big ideas for mental health professionals on the go. Busy mental health professionals on the go. Okie doke. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Again, you can download this entire PDF for free, and then you'll have several different options if you want to work with me, but not directly on the phone like I typically do. Instead, you can just jump into this workbook and ask a question like this, and then I'll answer it for you with an audio, kind of answer, just like you're hearing me now. Okie doke. Thanks so much for watching. If you have questions, as always, feel free to ask and download this at the link below. Thanks.